Sejal, Sakshi, Velisha, are you all present? Are you able to hear me?
Yes. Yeah. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. So I'd like to first have an introduction from yourself so that we can proceed further with the class. What course you are in currently?
Yes, hi, I'm Sakshi Jain from Pune. I had taken the medical coding course.
Okay, so have you completed it or is it you have to take
No,
admission?
no, it no, I had taken the admission and classes will start from 15th of September.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
What about Velisha?
Good afternoon. I'm Velisha. I'm from Mumbai, and my classes for medical coding will start from tomorrow.
Okay, so what is the timing of your batch?
Mine is in the morning, 7 to 9 a.m.
Okay, and Sakshi, yours also?
Mine is from night 8 to 10 p.m.
Okay. So Sakshi, okay, your batch will start. Okay.
Yeah.
So can you give me a little bit? So this class you have attended for like why have you attended? What is the purpose of you attending this course so that I can serve the purpose?
Actually, I didn't know anything about the medical coding. I just want to do a course. I had a little brief knowledge about that, and I want to be get more knowledge for this. So I'm
Okay.
attending.
You want an orientation basically.
Yeah, right.
And Velisha, is the same thing with you?
Yes, more or less.
Okay. So can you just brief me a little bit about your education background as well?
Okay. I had done a Bachelor of Pharmacy
Mm-hmm. Okay.
from Vadodara, Gujarat.
Completed or still studying?
Yeah, completed. It's completed.
Okay. So why did you opt for medical coding?
Actually, I want to do the medical coding course after my pharmacy, but I didn't get offline.
Okay.
And after that, I am a newly married, and after that my marriage had done, and after like it's been 6 to 8 month gap,
Mm-hmm.
so now I am proceeding for medical coding as a online.
Okay. And Velisha, what is your education background?
Um, Previously, I was enrolled, I was studying abroad for MBBS, and I had completed 3.5 years there. It was a 6 year course, but I was in Russia, so due to war and all, I came back.
I got it.
And yes, I have not yet gone back, so I thought to start a new course here.
Yeah, many students have had to come back midway.
Yes,
I think
yes,
the course fee they have re-enrolled the students, and then the course fees is also very high. It seems, right?
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Then why didn't you continue your MBBS over here in India itself?
In India, I have to start from the very first year. Like there is no continuation, like from where I've ended there. I asked here for a few colleges. They said that from the very first year, as the curriculum is a bit different, the speed, how they teach us. So that's why they asked us to enroll with the very first year. So it's not possible.
So, in which ways you only 3 years of your losses could have retaken admission, right? Or you don't
Yeah,
want.
no, I could have done that, but at present, no, it's not that much possible.
Okay, no issues. So, I am a BHMS doctor. I have studied from Mumbai itself. I am also from Mumbai, and I have 10 years of experience. And now, since 2022, I am into US healthcare system. So, I am into medical scribing as well as medical coding. So, just let me give you a brief of what medical coding is. So see, when you start with your course, okay, this course basically, so this is your modules. Okay. So see, medical coding is what you are associated with a medical chart note. Okay. So you go to a doctor, the doctor jot downs everything, right? In a prescription, right? Here we don't write it so extensively, but in US healthcare system, it's very extensive chart. Okay, there are different sections. You have your chief complaint, your history of presenting illness, then you have review systems, then you have assessment plan. So we have different sections, and each section is written very extensively. Okay, so it's not a one paper note like we have over here. So you need to understand that document well, okay? And then from that document, you need to uh, understand the key points, okay? Those key points, you have to select the appropriate codes. So this is all about medical coding in brief, okay? So now in your medical note, you have the diagnosis part, you have different investigations, you have the symptoms, you have the treatment, you have medications, you have any procedures to be done. Okay, there are so many things written. So you have to understand what is the crux of that document. Okay. Now the whole document is written. Why? Because the document is of clinical importance, legal importance, and for insurance purpose also. Okay. That's the reason why you have to write it so extensively. But insurance people are not going to sit and read the whole medical note to give the reimbursement to the physician. Another thing is that we go to a doctor over here, we do an upfront payment, right? Over there, it is not like that. Even if it is a regular follow-up, it is covered by the insurance. Okay, so the doctor is not getting an upfront payment. He has to wait for the insurance to give his payment, right? That's also the reason why this extensive documentation is done so that tomorrow nothing is lost. Okay, no information is lost. So today I'm seeing the patient, I know I have done so and so, and I take an upfront payment. So even if like I don't mention something, it's okay. Okay, if it's not legally important, okay. But if I don't write it very detail also, but I know okay I did this, I will remember it. But this is with the insurance. So tomorrow, if the reimbursement is denied or delayed, okay, so I will have a document in front of me which is explaining everything. So nothing is lost. Okay. So, but in this every day, if I have to see tens and thousands of documents for the process of reimbursement, so it's a very difficult task, and especially for the insurance people who don't understand the medical documents well. So medical document is not understood very well by people other than the healthcare professionals, right? So it's very difficult. So they are not going to sit. So this is where your medical coding is coming. Okay. So that extensive document, you have to understand the crux. Okay. And you have certain codes which are already written. You have to select the right code resonating with the information given in the medical note. Okay. For basic in understanding, like simply you have a diagnosis. Okay. So like we take a diagnosis of hypertension. Okay. So the patient has a diagnosis of hypertension. So you take hypertension if there are other information related to hypertension. Okay. Like essential hypertension, hypertension with CKD, or hypertension with diabetes, or any other information. So likewise, you will select that corresponding code from your coding manual. Okay. So this is how your coding will occur. Okay. So we have different codes. So this is how your module will, this is all will be covered. You will have your basic understanding of coding. Then medical terminology and anatomy is also extremely important. Okay, because you need to understand the document. If you don't understand the medical terminologies, you will not be able to understand what code you need to select, right? And after that, we have little bit understanding of ethics, little bit understanding of medical billing. Then we start with the coding systems. Okay? So we have three types of coding systems. We have the ICD. So we have different chapters of ICD which are covered. Then we will have the CPT codes. Then different chapters of the CPT code. And last will be your HCPCS coding system. Okay. So in total, 26 modules will be covered. So this is what you will expect in your course. Is this clear till now?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions right now you want me to ask?
I just want to ask about the books which had been dispatched for us. So,
Mhm.
which type of books will be
So
there?
those will be the manuals basically. So see, I just now showed you three types of coding systems, right? So we have manuals. Let me just show you. See, like this, the manuals are there. Okay. So ICD manual. So it's a book where all the codes are written. Okay. You have CPT manual like this. Okay. So this is the book. Where are you going to find the code? I told you you have to see the chart note. So the chart note will be there online. Okay. So digitally you will have your medical records. You have to see that medical record and then you have to select the code. Got it?
Yeah. Thank you.
Just a second. Is it okay if I play a video for you to understand how to do what is coding exactly? How are you going to see the codes? Because I cannot actually show you. So shall I play a video for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The code using the ICD-10-CM manual. Hey there, I'm Victoria. I'm a medical coder.
See, now she is telling ICD, but CPT and everything will be the same. Okay. Just understand how are you going to see a code. Okay. It's a 13-minute code. I'm not going to play the whole 13, but just understand how it is done. So you'll get an idea what it is.
Auditor, educator, and content creator. And on my channel, I provide tips, tricks, and tutorials to help you be successful in a medical coding episodes. So for those of you who are not yet familiar with medical coding is that process of reviewing medical records, taking all of the different diseases, disorders, procedures, services, equipment, and then translating them into different code sets. This is a critical step in health information management and can impact everything from billing and insurance claims to research and budgeting for healthcare costs. So, if you're researching medical coding or you're just starting out in your journey and you want to know how to do a basic code lookup for ICD 10CM, stick around because I've got you covered. By the way, if you finish this video and you want to learn a lot more about medical coding, salary expectations, what certifications you need to prepare for, what the job outlook is, and things like how you can get the best training possible for medical coding and be job ready in 6 months.
This isn't about ChatGPT prompts anymore. This is about AI agents that fill
Out there that will check off all of those boxes. So definitely go into or thought maps that are included. I like the AAPC version for the CPC exam. I think it is the best one for CPC. If you want to see a review of just kind of how to use the ICD-10-CM manual, I have a whole video for that. But today we're just going to go over like 5 different examples of looking up medical codes. And definitely let me know in the comments if you would also like me to make a video on the main term and how, when we're looking at a diagnosis, we determine what is that main term that we're going to look up. So the first diagnosis I want to start with is keloid scar. A keloid is an overgrowth of scar tissue. Sometimes it can be kind of wide or thick or bulge out or be kind of hardened. So when we look up our code, we're going to start in our alphabetic index. In most versions, that's in the front of the book. Some of them have it differently though, but most of them, they're in the front. There are always those odd versions out there. So we're going to start under our S's and we're going to look for the word scar. So where is our scar? We have scabs, we have scalp, we have scar. And then we go to our next indentation to further define what kind of scar is it. This would be our default code for a scar, but we have a keloid scar. So we're looking specifically for a code for keloid. So if we go down to our next indentation, let's see if we can find keloid. Nope, we go to our next page and see if we can find something that says keloid. Okay, so here we go. Keloid scar, it says, is L91.0. So we never code directly off of the alphabetic index. We always verify it in the tabular list. They go hand in hand. So the tabular list is mostly in alphabetical order, except for our chapter 22 is not in alphabetical order because those are our U codes. They don't come in the right alphabetical order. It's only, I believe, two different categories of codes. One right now is, I think, for vaping. The other is COVID-19. But in any case, we're going to look for our L's. So LMNOP, we're at M, we're a little too far. Sometimes when you're learning, it's helpful to keep some scrap paper by, just in case you start flipping through pages and then you can't remember some of the digits, like you get here and you're like, oh, it was L something, and now I can't remember it's what the rest of the digits are. So keeping some scrap paper by, just to kind of jot that down, in case you don't want to flip back and forth, that can help you out when you're just kind of trying to remember what you're doing. So here is our L90. We're at L91. L91. So the first 3 digits of an ICD-10-CM code is referred to as the category. So the category for L91 is hypertrophic disorders of the skin, and we're looking for the L91.0. So here is our L91.0. It's the hypertrophic scar, and it says even here keloid and keloid scar. Now we have to pay attention to any of these other guidelines here. Make sure that there's not something we're also supposed to include, like maybe it wants us to include a wound code first or something, but in this case, it doesn't give us that directive. So if we're just looking for the keloid scar, it does say it includes acne keloid and it excludes scar NOS, or not otherwise specified. So if we were looking for these codes, we would want to maybe code this instead, but we are right where we're supposed to be. We have the keloid scar. So L91.0, there's no icon here saying we need additional characters. So that'll do it. It's just the L91.0. Next, we'll try UTI. UTI is urinary tract infection. So when we see something like a urinary tract infection, we need to figure out our main term, right? So oftentimes it's not a location that we want to look up. So let's say for heart attack, we don't want to look up heart with the location of it. We want to look up the word attack. And in the case of something like urinary tract infection, we're not going to look up urinary tract. We're going to start with what's the condition of the urinary tract? Well, it's infected. So we're going to look up the word infection. All right, so we're under this term infection. You can double check where you are because the title of the alphabetic word will be right up here. So we're looking for infection and we're looking under our next indentation. You can use these nice yellow guidelines to look for the next indentation for urinary tract. So let's see if we can find it. Here we go. Urinary tract. Now there's a couple other further indentions in here. You can, again, these nice yellow lines help you kind of navigate that you're at the right spot. And ours is just a general UTI. It didn't say, you know, complicating pregnancy or that it was a kidney infection or anything like that. So we're going to use this general code, the default code it says too, which is N39.0. Okay, so here's our category N39, other disorders of urinary system, and here's our N39.0, urinary tract infection, site not specified. Now, it also tells us to use an additional code to identify the infectious agent. Now, for this case, we're just kind of doing the general UTI code. We don't have information in regards to the infectious agent. And sometimes they'll give you a little information about, what additional code to use. So here it tells us use something from categories B95 through B97 to identify the infectious agent. But in this case, we're just coding the UTI, urinary tract infection, site not specified. We don't need any additional characters, so we're going to go ahead with the N39.0. Now, what if we're looking for lower back pain? Remember what I talked about with the location? We're not going to look up that anatomical location. We're going to go with what is the condition of that anatomical location. It's in pain. So pain is the term that we're going to look up. So we're going to start in our alphabetic index under P for pain. As you can see, there's a lot of different codes for pain because you can have pain just about anywhere in your body. So it's broken down by a lot of different body areas. So here we have pain abdominal, acute. Let's see if we have back on here or if we need to flip our page. There we go. So pain for the back, this is postural, so M54.9. That doesn't seem quite right though. One other thing we could do is, lower back pain is often referred to as lumbago, but let's see if we have something maybe that says lower back. Okay, so we do have here lumbar region. It maps to M54.50. And then actually, if we go down here, there is also, if I can get it down far enough, low back pain, if we see here, and it's the same code, M54.50. So let's take a look at that code. All right, and here we are, low back pain. It says we need our fifth character, which was our M54.50. We don't need any additional characters beyond that. Low back pain, unspecified. Loin pain or lumbago, not otherwise specified. So that would be our code. When we kind of look at it though, you can see here it's got this like black dot on it. Your legend is at the bottom of your book for the AAPC version. Some of them may have them different, but usually they're at the bottom. And that tells us that this is actually a new code for 2022. If you noticed, it was also highlighted in yellow, which means that it is an unspecified code. Now let's kind of take it one step further, but go back to our pain codes. So what if we have bilateral hip pain? So we're going to go back to our P for pain, right? But when we go to our P for pain and we look under H for hip, there's nothing there. But thankfully, if we just go down a little bit further, oh my gosh, it's under joint hip. So remember that the hip is technically a joint, so that's where they have it under J for joint and then H for hip. And that's going to take us to M25.55. Now there's this little checkbox here, and that checkbox means that we're going to need some additional characters, probably either a bilateral code or we're going to have to see like when we get there. So M25.55, we're going to go to our tabular list. Okay, so here we are. We've got M25.55, and it tells us we need a sixth character, and pain in the hip, and we have right hip, we have left hip, and we have unspecified. But this patient has bilateral hip pain. So what does that mean? Well, since there's no code for bilateral specifically, are we going to use the unspecified? No, because they did specify. They specified bilateral. Bilateral means it's in the right and the left. So in that case, we're actually going to use two codes to encompass the bilateral hip pain, M25.551 and M25.552 to encompass that it is a bilateral hip pain. So we have to code two codes because there isn't one for bilateral.
So you just mentioned that you want to learn Python. So do not learn Python in
So you got an idea of how is the coding done, right?
Yes.
So you all want any other questions, any other doubts that you have about understanding the coding?
I wanted to know when we'll be given the information to code, like the question, we have to like identify which aspect we have to search. Like in the video, she said that we have to search for this and not for the other part. In that way.
Yes, so that is what a coder has to do, right? Otherwise, what is anybody can do coding, right? You just have to see what is there in the document and you just have to find the code, right? So what is so great about the coder? This is what is very great about the coder. They need to understand what to take, how to take, when to take. So that is also what we are going to teach you in the course. How to understand the course. That's the reason why you need to understand the document. That is what I told you. What is it in the document that you need to find out? Okay. So I told you the chart note is, so that is this is just the diagnosis. Okay. When you come to the treatment part, when you come to the services, your procedures, there it will be more complicated. Now, what to select, how to select, and when to select. Okay, how many codes to select. Okay, so that's the reason why we are having a certification course. Okay, and that's the reason why you need to study, understand what is to be done. Okay. Am I is my answer clear, or you need some more explanation?
No, I understood.
So, Velisha, you have been assigned the trainer, or is it still pending?
No, I have been assigned. I don't remember the name right now.
Okay. So, why did you select the 7 to 9 batch? I mean, are you working?
No, I just thought that it would be best in the morning to study fresh.
Okay. Because your batch was given to me 7 to 9, but I
Okay.
already had an 8 to 10 batch.
Uh,
So Tuesday and Thursday is free, but I don't know why 7 to 9. I told them Tuesday and Thursday you can keep it on 8 to 10.
uh,
Okay. Because I already have 8 to 10 and yours was 7 to 9. So it was overlapping.
mm, yes. My trainer name is Devaki.
Devaki. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So have you got an understanding of what is coding? You all want some any other answers, questions? You'll let me know. So basic understanding I've already discussed, and I've also discussed the ICD. So ICD is basically your diagnosis codes. Okay. Just now we saw the video of diagnosis codes, right? ICD. CPT is your any treatment procedures, all that. Okay. And HCPCS codes is anything apart from diagnosis and treatment procedures. Like if somebody wants some instrument, like a oxygen machine or a CPAP, BiPAP machine, or a wheelchair or anything. So any device, durables or anything which are required for the rehabilitation. So it shouldn't be like, already the patient is paying monthly premium. And then apart from that, he has to pay for all this also from his pocket. So it will be very cumbersome for the patient. So all these things are also included in HCPC. There's more to HCPCs also, but when you come to the course, the details will be explained to you about how HCPCs came and what is another thing about HCPCs. Okay, so these are the main things, and I've just showed you what exactly you have to do. Okay, you have to understand the medical note. You need to understand what to take, and then you have to likewise select the corresponding code. The codes are already written. The manuals which are coming to you are all about the codes, the manuals of ICD, CPT, and HCPCS. Okay? So that is easy. You just have to select the code, but what to select from the medical note and which code you're going to select from that all is what the challenge is about medical coding. All right.
Yes.
Speed and accuracy, you will get speed and accuracy when with time, once you start learning, once you get a hang on it, when you start selecting the course, when you start with practice, your speed and accuracy will improve. That's obvious. Okay, but the main thing is that you need to understand what exactly is to be done. Okay, so once you understand, then with time you'll definitely improve. That's the question. And of course, the CPC exam you will give after you complete the course, you'll get the certification, and then you can start with your internships and jobs. We still have 10 minutes. You all let me know if you are having any questions. We'll cover it up. Okay.
I wanted to know that when we'll be getting a question, will there be a mention that which book we have to, like, which manual we have to use, whether this is CPT, ICD-10, or HCPCS?
Yes, of course. So in the question, it will be mentioned. You have to select which ICD code, which CPT code, it will be mentioned. So when you give the exams, they will ask you, tell us the CPT code you will select, tell us the ICD code you will select. So like that, it will be mentioned. That's not difficult. See, that is not what is challenging. So when we take the exam also, we want to know what you have understood. So understanding, I know ICD is a diagnosis, so that's not difficult. It will already be mentioned in the answer. It's about what code you will select. Okay, so that will be about what your exam will be. Okay, because diagnosis, you also understand diagnosis is not very simple. There can be
Mm.
complicated diagnosis also. So in those scenarios, how are you going to select the codes? So that is what the main part is.
I just want to ask when we'll give exam, so we can use the manual for course.
Yes, of course. Without manual, how will you find the answer? You cannot by heart the whole book. It's
Yeah, that's what
impossible.
I was asking, that we should be by heart or we can use it.
No. You don't have to by heart. But you should at least know that what chapters are there. If I have, such a big manual. So at least you should know that if I have certain, like a keloid scar that she showed right now, at least I should know which section I should be looking the keloid scar. Only then will I be able to find it very fast, no? Otherwise, in the whole book where I'm going to search a single diagnosis or a single CPT code, it will impossible. So you are not supposed to by heart all the codes. It's not required. You will have your, even in your exams, they will allow your manuals. Okay, certain they will give which all manual you can carry with you. So you can carry, otherwise how will you find the code? And you need to at least know. So if I have if I have sepsis, so which section I'm going to look sepsis into? At least that much I should know. So I know this is in this chapter, so I can directly go in this chapter and find. Now, how you search in a dictionary? Everybody, you must have used a dictionary, right? So if I tell you search the word celebration, so where will you find celebration in the whole Oxford dictionary? So you know it. Okay, I have to see in the C, and then from C I will see CE. Like that, you will go step by step. No? So same way, you need to find it from the manual.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I am there for more 10 minutes. If you all have any questions, do let me know. Okay.
Yeah, right now I don't have any questions. It's been everything is clear.
All right. Okay. Felicia, you have any questions?
No.
Okay. I'm still there. If you feel you need to ask me, you can ask me. I'm there for 10 minutes. Okay. If you want to leave, you can leave. Or if you want to ask, you can just ask. Okay. I'm there for 10 more minutes. Okay.
I wanted to ask, like, it's not like it was after exams when we work. That time, if we are given like the patient details, and that is, it is also mentioned, the procedure is mentioned, and if there is mentioned like we use some instrument, as you said. So how we will know that we have to use the CPT or HCPCS?
Yeah. So that so see, first of all, in the exam, you will be told like you have to select ICD, CPT, and HCC. And when you are doing this course, you will understand now what is the CPT and what is the ICD and HCP. So when you understand in the course itself, then that will be clear to you by the end of the course, like when a document is there in front of you, which section will come in the ICD, which will come in CPT, and which will come in HCPCS. Okay. So in the course, when you go through the course, you will get to know how you will select the course. Okay. It's obvious. It's nothing. See, understanding ICD, CPT, and HCPC is not difficult. You will easily understand once you see the chart note. But which code, how to select, that is the real challenge. Okay.
So
So I know I have 10, the patient has 5 diagnoses in front of me. Okay. The patient
mhm,
has 5 diagnoses. So I know I have to select the ICD codes. But all the diagnoses are not simple. There is
um,
something attached to it. So how
yes.
I'm going to select that code? When you select the code also, there are different instructions given in the codes. Okay, what you can include, what you cannot include, all that. So understanding those instructions and applying to the information given in the chat note, that is the real challenge. Okay, understanding how to select ICD CPT is not the real challenge. That you will
No, no,
understand.
no. No, I was asking like if it's like the report that we have been given, and
Hmm.
it's like we don't have any information whether we have to use which guidelines, like CPT,
Yeah, so you will be able to
ICD, or
understand.
HCPCS. And
You are
asking
asking
like,
about the exam,
okay,
or
like no, no,
you are
after exams, like
Yeah,
if
yeah,
we
that
go
will
to
be
work and
easy.
all.
That will
Uh,
not be difficult. That will be easy. That is what I'm telling you.
okay,
Once you complete the course, it will be easy for you to understand what is in CPT, ICD, or HCPC. That will be easy. But if I have to select a CPT code, there are different instructions in that CPT code itself. So I
mm,
need to select that appropriate code. That is where the real challenge. Got
okay,
it?
yes, yes,
So
yeah. Thank you.
understanding whether to take ICD CPT will not be difficult. That is
Okay,
not that after you complete the course, you will be able to understand it. That's not difficult.
okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you.